My name is Björk, and your television is just about to explode!
I feel like at some point, every music fan gets the urge to start looking for smaller and smaller artists. And as time has gone on and my tastes have developed more, I feel myself gravitating more heavily towards them. Yeah, I do still love my share of Weezer, Tyler the Creator, and Kanye before he, you know.
Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Santa Claus and Rudolph.
But I think that there's a lot to gain from listening to more underground artists. But I'm not talking about that sub 1 million monthly listeners. Nah, I'm talking about that itty bitty. Some might call these artists indie, but I'm hesitant to use that word. I could go into a long explanation as to why, or I could just write you a sticky note. I'm lucky enough to live in the tri-state area, also known as literally one city, The Sopranos, and hell. And we're known for our very rich musical culture. Because of this, it's super easy to find a ton of really talented local artists if you try hard enough, which is what I want to do today. I'm going to talk about 3 artists near me that I think you should check out. Starting off with Hot Seat. Hot Seat is a 5-piece riot girl band based in Philadelphia.
Hey, what's Riot Girl?
A subgenre of punk rock mainly focused on feminism.
Well, what's Philadelphia?
The capital of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Hot Seat has been on my radar since before I even started this channel. And while I have a lot of experience in punk rock, Hot Seat was kind of my first foray into Riot Girl specifically, and honestly, thank God they were. The band really stands on the shoulders of giants. That's not to say that they're derivative, more that they take a lot of what I personally love about punk rock and condense it into a thick paste. I feel like I talk a lot about musical density on this channel, but what I mean is that they cram a lot of meaning and skill into every one of their songs. Every time you hit play on one of their tracks, you're smacked with this explosion of sound and aggression, and it's something that's really hard to find in most other places. My favorite song from them is High Value Woman, which is a really fun song about the objectification of women, and it's all sung with this really cheeky, snarky tone that I love.
I don't think my mind is blank. I've never had a decent thought in my life. We exist for the pleasure and comfort of a band like you.
All that said, there are some things with this band that I'm not really a huge fan of. For one, they never release full albums, mostly just singles. That sucks because I really like having a full-length record that I can sink my teeth into. It really makes the music feel more special. Also, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of hate the presentation of a lot of their more recent stuff. It all just kind of feels like this girl, rather than being authentically weird and crazy. Moving on to the next band, we got Wall Carpets, a 4-piece soft punk rock band based somewhere in New Jersey, I don't know. Something that's interesting about them is that their drummer, Trevor Hogan, is also their vocalist, which is something that's really cool to me as an aspiring drummer. Now, I don't really have that much to say about this band because I've only known about them for a month. But what I will say is, damn, this hits. Wall Carpet's sound is very reminiscent of the more grounded parts of Midwest emo, blended with some Nirvana-esque guitar work. And as hesitant as I am to use the I word, I do think that they have a certain indie feel to them. The stuff they talk about in their songs is also great, with it feeling very adolescent in subject matter. They speak on things like feeling alienated from those around you as you grow up, or just not having people to share your interests with. My favorite song from them, Stroll, is another great example. It's about feeling bored in the town you grew up in, and it has a lot of lines that I can directly relate to.
If you're doing well, I'm getting sick and tired of the same old fucking shit. Stupid birds in the fucking beat. Why do I always see what I see?
Overall, Wall Carpets is probably my favorite artist out of these 3. They're very relatable, and their sound really scratches an itch for soft rock that isn't car seat headrest or Radiohead. There's still one more artist I need to talk about, Jae Star. And while I could talk about my experience with his music, I think it's better to hear it from the man himself.
It can
Hey
be a little
Jay,
silly.
yeah, nice that you could make it. It's great to actually interview an artist for my channel.
I don't know if I call myself
can
an
you just
artist,
start by
but
introducing yourself?
yeah, my name's Jae Star. That's my maiden name. I make music. I don't know if I call it art, but I make music in my bedroom, and I guess I'm part of the DIY spirit kind of vibe. That's really it for me, I suppose.
So like, what would you say like your inspirations are, like musically or like just artistically in general?
My biggest motivator or inspiration is probably my own mortality. I think that the fact that I'm gonna die and I don't know when I'm gonna die inspires me to create a lot of art and do participate in anything artistic as much as I can. When it comes to music, right now it's really like Jay Retard, really inspired by Jay Retard. He was a garage like icon from the early 2000s, and I'm getting back into the Hives and a lot of local bands. I think meeting local bands and talking to them and seeing that there's other people that want to do what I do is probably the most inspiring to me.
So like, you'd say that like your biggest motivator is just like wanting to like kind of leave a legacy.
Yeah, I think legacy and inspiration. There's a lot of kids that reach out to me and email me. I don't know why the fuck kids are using email, but they email me and they reach out to me and they ask me like, how do you mix this and how do I make music that doesn't sound like shit, you know? And they send me their songs and stuff, and the fact that I could have that sort of impact on anybody is very inspiring to me.
That sort of leads into like the next question. Like, do you ever, as like someone who's gotten like most of their popularity from social media, I assume?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you ever feel the need to like appeal to the algorithm, and like if so, does that like clash with like what you want to do as an artist?
Dude, that's how I feel about social media. I fucking hate it. I hate the like the grind, whatever it's called, man. It's like a juxtaposition of actual art in like a sewer. Like it's meaningless to me. I hate the algorithm. I hate what they push. I think that right now there's a really big emphasis on youth and appealing to, like, it's almost like manufactured adolescence. You know, I see a lot of bands that are blowing up where it's like, you know, kids in a garage, man, but they're like, their parents put them there, you know, and the people that are actually the kids that are actually making art get shit on. Like, I found this young band, it was three, like probably 12, 13-year-old girls, and they were doing like covers of fucking like Bon Jovi, you know, it was bizarre, but I was like, these are actually dumb kids that are making music, you know, they're like 15, 16-year-olds with a professional camera, you know, that's not, or like a $3,000 camcorder, that's not youth, that's not adolescence. So for me, especially being 19, I think that I get almost pressured into manufacturing this like youth and adolescent vibe, and I hate it. I want to make music. Every time I upload a reel, I think I die a little bit inside.
Yeah, so like, you're kind of sick of like that. Did I just make the song of the summer type
Yeah,
thing? You know? Like,
but I feel like it goes deeper than that, because that shit's annoying. It pisses me off. But it's the whole song of the summer thing. But now it's like people are almost there's like an emphasis and a pressure to manufacture this energy, you know, manufacture, like, Indian DIY is huge right now. And if you can say like, I'm 16, I made this in my bedroom, that will blow you up. You know, I remember like one of my biggest videos, I deleted it, but it was from like 2023. It was like, I made this in my bedroom, and you know, it blew up, and you know, I got tons of hate and shit, but like just being able to say I'm 16 and I made this in my bedroom will get you in the algorithm. So people are lying about that now, and there's this pressure to manufacture DIY and indie when, you know, their dad works for like BlackRock or something. So I don't know, that kind of pisses me off, but I'm also pretty cynical, so maybe I'm wrong.
no, yeah, I actually like found you from like that video, where it's like, why is everybody got to be an influencer, man? Like,
That fucking video?
yeah.
Dude, I deleted that shit so quick. Dude, a fucking label reached out to me. This label from Ohio, I forget their name. They were like, dude, like, we saw your video, and like, it's so cool, and like, we'd love to release something for you. It's like, because of that? Because of the...
Yeah, that's kind of ironic, yeah.
Yeah, no, very. I was like, fuck off.
I mean, besides that, like, do you think, like, it's recently, not just with, like, social media, but, like, the way that the world is changing in general, do you think it's becoming, like, easier or harder for like people to kind of, you know, become professional artists without having to like sign to a label that like just kills them, you know?
Definitely easier. You don't really need a label anymore. What like, and this is me asking you a question. What do record labels do?
Yeah, like all they really do is like kind of mooch off you, you know? Like maybe they'll throw you a 20 every now and then, but like
I've thought about that because I've had offers from like very small labels, and I think small labels are cool, like DIY labels or indie labels. Like I really like Matador Records, but they usually just work with publishing and shit. I don't know, like what does signing to Universal do? I'm assuming it's advertisements, like they can push your music. But one, the second that anybody finds out you're signed to Universal, you're poison. Like nobody likes big corporate music, you know, and it's like, you can do all this at home. Like I have a PC, I have speakers, I have a mixer. I got all this for like $1,000 over the course of a year. This is a studio. I just have a studio, you know. It costs like $500-$600 to record, an album or sometimes even a song in an actual studio when you can just do it at home. I just don't see the point or purpose in a label and like deals, you know. And advertisements are shitty, dude. If you play shows, if you post on social media, but if you post on social media and you just try, you'll get out there. Somebody will hear you, you know? You don't need a label. Before you sign a contract, like you'd be better off like, you know, tying a noose around your neck and jumping into a river. So I guess that was a bit long-winded, but that's my take.
all right, so besides that, what you got coming up soon?
I have a record releasing today, actually. It's called Pop Music for Teenagers. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek. It's sort of like, you know, it starts off kind of indie poppy, and then if you listen to it, it kind of devolves into, you know, hedonistic violence and anger and aggression and shit. So if you're into that, if you're into noise rock, indie rock, pop shit, check that out. And there's some cool features on it, like Ricky Jamaraz and my buddy White Ribbon. You probably like it. It's probably a song on there that you don't hate. So, and I have another record coming out in late September, which I don't know the name of yet, but you'll find out soon. And a split EP with Cheapskate from Australia. Pretty cool guy. That's what I got going on.
Nice. Well, it's been great talking to you, man. I'll see you around.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. See you.
So there you have it. 3 small artists that I think deserve more love. Wait, there's one more. Wizard of Loneliness. No reason, just felt like mentioning him.